Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Just a quick video going from the last one about the church. Oh yeah, there's a few things I will mention. I mentioned the person who was speaking, but also his wife. She was playing the flute. I had to go over after the service to try and say to her, I did say sort of, my brain wasn't working properly, so I was trying to get the words. But yeah, beautiful, stunning. I mean, that instrument, the flute, gorgeous. Whenever I've heard that played and played well, it sounds so incredibly beautiful. It really does. That's a gorgeous sounding device, that is. Just wonderful. So I wanted to share that with her. I'm not sure if I was able to. I shared something, whether I shared it as... don't know. So yeah. And so the person who spoke, as I said earlier, he was basically doing the similar thing to what I said the night before, which was pretty cool. I said the service was okay. It was. Dave Bilber, who was the one leading the worship, he did a good job. I didn't know all the songs. I said that song at the end. Say gorgeous song, but saying it's all about you, Jesus, it isn't. So therefore, that inaccuracy, that should never be sung in a church. They should change that. I mean, what to change it to? Because the problem is it rhymes, and people are used to it. So how you change it, I don't know. But most of that song is just absolutely beautiful. But then you've got that bit which is inaccurate, and is giving, as I said, it's giving a view that the church has basically been in any way, and it's just cementing that all the time, isn't it? The church has got a brickwork about it's all about you, Jesus. It's all about you. And when you have songs like that, it just keeps on refreshing the cement, keeping that wall that's basically stopping the church from moving forward there. Because, well, that's the point. If you're supposed to go through him to Father, if you see yourself as being in him and you've got a big blinking wall up saying, it's all about you, 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 then you're never going to move forwards. That wall's going to be there all the time. That wall needs to be smashed down. It's not going to be smashed down by songs that are saying it's all about you, Jesus. Yeah. But hey ho, as I say, generally speaking, the worship was okay, apart from that. The word was okay. It was aimed at church, but okay. Flute playing, beautiful. Overall, pretty good. So, okay, I leveled it up from okay to pretty good. Okay. Settled that situation. There was one other point that was difficult there. And that was, if you go right the way back to just before COVID, I'd been in the filling station, and there was a lady at the filling station who was worshipping. Just the most beautiful. She was on the floor, basically on her knees, but basically flat down. How she could do that, I couldn't do it. My knees wouldn't allow me to. But she did. And it was just pure worship. She wasn't concerned about how other people viewed her or what other people might say about what she was doing. It was just between her and God. Now my spirit leapt when I saw that, and because of that I thought that maybe that woman was supposed to be the one I was supposed to marry. During COVID she got married, but that woman, saw her again today. I didn't recognise her at the start, but I recognised the absolute beauty of this woman. That to me, she is probably just about the pinnacle for me of attractiveness. Bang, she hits it completely. In my younger days, she would have been a 10 for me. If you're going purely by looks, image, height, everything, without getting to know her as a person, but just as I was years ago, young, silly, but going purely by that, should have been a 9 or a 10. So yeah. So her being there, that was like, our Father, you're showing me again what I didn't get. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Well, I had all of that when I was on that stand, because talking about the fact that, yeah, this woman who was there today, yeah, I never really got to see her nature, her personality. Never really got to see the way that she would shine with regards to her kindness, her love, her compassion, any of that. But with Mrs. B, I did. So with Mrs. B, I saw something gorgeous about her. Yeah. So with the two that aren't supposed to be mine, I saw something absolutely gorgeous with. Yeah. I'm saying, okay, Father, that means what? Yeah, okay. I'm not going to go into that anymore. I really am not. Yeah. But that would have been another reason why I wouldn't have been that comfortable staying. But actually, to be honest, because I had a few coffees beforehand so I could stay awake during the service, and if I was going to stay so I could stay awake during that time, I had to go out and pee a couple of times. Second time was when the ministry had basically, the word had stopped and they were having a bit more worship. So I went to pee, and when I went to pee then, Father said, you're going home. You're not going to be sitting down eating with these people. And yeah, I knew that probably would be the case. Well, the main reason is it because certain people weren't making me welcome? No. That's an issue in the sense that because, well, years ago I didn't believe I was worthy. People behaving like that towards me was acceptable. Now it isn't. And it's even more not acceptable now that I have love in me and that I have a better understanding of things. Yeah. So, yeah. But it wasn't for the reasons that it was before. It's because of the fact that I want better for these people. It's not what I want for me. It's I want better for them. Well, as I say, Father gave me that dream years ago about his people being pulled away. And I've said, to their deaths, and I've said about the fact that if you've got one foot in the world and one foot in God, you're going to be pulled back into the world, into the devil, not into God. Because God won't drag you into him. You have to choose God. Different thing completely. Yeah. Now, God said to me a way back, he wants me to love these people. And the thing of it is, I think that's already started now. I think I do have love for at least some of the people in that church now. If not the majority of them. And the reality is, when what you see is quite dark, certainly when what you see is something which isn't good, that's not where they, I was going to say that's not where they should be. Well, maybe they should be there at the moment. Yeah, that's the thing, maybe they should be there right now. Because I was supposed to be where I was until I wasn't, and then God did something about it. So, so yeah. So I'm trying to understand it as I'm going through it, and it's not easy to do. Not at all. So, Yeah. But that basically, that they're of Yeshua, and according to that, they've got to be doing things that they're not doing right now. If they're going to stay as Yeshua, that they've got to be doing things according to the word, as in to bear fruit, and they're not doing that. And does it look like they're going to be? No, it doesn't. That's true, it doesn't. But as I said earlier, maybe that's just looks. Maybe that's just how it looks. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it just looks that bad. Yeah. But being there, having a fellowship meal with them, for a number of reasons, for that reason and the fact that they are of church, I'm not. I have never been, and I never will be. I find it incredibly difficult trying to fit in. Immensely so. I find it really incredibly difficult trying to fit in, because that, as I said, that song relates. I don't know what it's like to be them, because I've never been them. Yeah, I've never been anything like them. Most of the people in there know, at least to a certain degree, what it's like to be the other people there, because they are similar to them in their view, in how they see things, and in certainly with regards to church and stuff like that. I've never been that, not in any way, shape, or form. I just have never been that. It's never, Well, like to a certain degree, one thing they have that I don't have is they have each other. I don't. And I won't. Well, unless they can come to where I am, I won't. Because I'm never going to go to where they are, because I can't. That is not within the realm of possibility that I can do that. So, yeah. So with all of that, those understandings, sitting with them for a meal, when I've got all this stuff that I want to share, that in my understanding could bring them into greater light, well, of course, what do I want to do? What is it I'm feeling that I want to do? To share. And Father is saying, no. He doesn't want me to share right now. So, yeah. Really is incredibly difficult. And we'll put it this way. I mean, I know for another point that I don't judge these people for being where they are, because if I can look at that situation this morning and I can think it's hopeless, everything is hopeless. Yeah. Well, it's like when I've seen the female that I think God is telling me is going to be my wife, my instant response is, Father, there is no way, shape or form, I don't want that. I do not want this woman. Because all I can see is where she is right now. Right? Obviously. Now, with the church, it's the same thing. When I see the church, I'm saying, Father, I said earlier, Father, I don't think there's any way, shape or form that I'm at any point in time going to be standing in front of that church and sharing anything that you've given me. I just don't think that is within the realm of possibilities. But that's because, I shared when I was doing the stand for 8 months, that stand thing, that when you focus on the reality and you fall into it, things can truly look that bad. Now, if I can go down that path and see things like that, then, I can't have a go at other people for seeing things in a way that's wrong when I have. When I can do that, even though I should know better, because God was teaching me during that 8 months all about that, what happens when you do that, and yeah. And yet today I still did that. So yeah, I'm in no position whatsoever to be, judging anyone else about the paths that they've gone down or the decisions that they've made. When, yeah. And yeah, things can look bad. Things can look bad, and they do right now. They really do. They look very, very bad indeed. Yeah. But again, as I've said so many times, we have no idea what God is doing in the background and what God is doing to make things right, and how close we are to things being right. We have no idea. I mean, when I see the picture as it is now, I'm thinking, well, Yeshua, if what you said to me about when you're coming back, they won't be ready. There's no chance of that at all. I mentioned that before. But that's truth. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, based upon where people are, I can't see it. Father, how? How many times have I said that? But I've said that in every church I've gone to, though. Every church I've gone to. This one isn't any worse than any other church. It really isn't. That's the reality. It isn't. Well, because the understandings of church is pretty much most churches. They have those understandings. Because the people that minister, they've been trained by the same way. They've been trained to do church in the same way. So all around the country and all around Europe and all around the world, you've got people doing church in the same way. Because that's how they've been trained to do church. So therefore the understanding in all these churches is pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. You will have some that are very, very different, but yeah, majority are going to be pretty much the same. So yeah, but as I say, I'm not trying to judge the people in any way, shape or form, or judge the church. I'm simply saying that these are the reasons why things are difficult. And I felt earlier that it was accurate to say God had said to me, I've got to love these people, and that's going to be a hard thing to do. But then I realised, no, I think I do. And yeah, it's such an incredibly hard thing to do. Again, I'm not blaming them for that, but I've never had that experience. I've been in churches, I've occasionally cared for people in churches, but I never really loved them. I never really saw them for the way that God sees them. But doing that and then seeing them where they are, that's so incredibly difficult. Yeah, but also, loving me and seeing where I am is difficult as well. Yeah. So again, I'm not judging them for that. Because now I love me a little bit and I see where I am, and that's not good. That's not easy. That's very difficult in itself. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going to happen this week. Not in any way, shape or form. Yeah. There are things going on, but whether I will be involved, because I heard them being spoken of during the service, but whether I'll be involved in any of it. They got a healing thing on I think it's Friday, Saturday? Friday, I think. I'm not totally sure. Try to mention it again at some point. But again, whether I'll be going, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Simply because, can I do anything? I don't think so, because if I do anything, it means I'm sharing. Do I need to receive anything? I don't think so. So, should I just go to encourage others? Let's see what God says. That's the point. No matter how things look, my eyes have to be on him. They do. My eyes have to be on him, because I know that, that small picture that I can see is part of a massive picture that he can see. And he knows exactly what needs to happen and how pieces need to be moved, including me. So, yeah. My eyes have to be on him, and just try and let him lead. And let him be the one that determines all this stuff. Because, if I can't see the clearing, he can. If I can't see the church made right, he can. He knows exactly what needs to be done to do that. And he knows exactly when, how, and etc, etc, etc. So there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be blessed and have a fantastic week. Bye bye.